Good evening from Roland-Garros. Play on day 5. It's still going on all around us. The weather is largely behaving itself, and you can see from the spectators they are enjoying themselves around the site here at Roland-Garros, because there's plenty still to come in the French capital this evening. You are watching live at Roland-Garros. As we round up everything that's taken place today, we look ahead to the night session, and here for you is what we have for you on this evening's show. It's heartbreak for world #1 Ash Barty. Novak Djokovic celebrates, as does Roger Federer, both through to round 3. And 13-time champion Rafa Nadal will celebrate his birthday under the lights. Continue to get in touch with us via the Roland-Garros social media channels, and I'm very happy to say that once again alongside me, former world #5, Daniela Hantuchova. Daniela, good evening. I feel like we're going through all the seasons in one day. We've been boiled, and now we've been blown away.
Well, good evening, Gigi, but I can't believe you just said that the weather is behaving. I mean, we were almost blown away from the set a couple minutes ago, so we better hold on to our desks and don't let them go. But I guess it's a good thing that it's windy, so it keeps the storm away, and I think we've been very lucky, given the forecast, that we had live tennis all the way till now.
Now, I feel bad that I don't know this, and I have to ask this question, but today is Rafa Nadal's 35th birthday. Happy birthday to him. When is your birthday, and did it fall on a tournament, so every year you knew where you'd be?
It was always during the Fed Cups. It's in April, so it used to be a lot of fun because obviously you get to celebrate with the team. But I have to say, I always wished it was some time around the Grand Slams. I think that's just got to be so special. And, you know, one way or the other, the tournament is going to celebrate you.
Yeah, you know there'll be a birthday cake, there might be a happy birthday. Maybe you can't indulge like Rafa Nadal. He will look at it and smile, but he has work to do. But as you say, it's really nice, especially for Nadal, that here, apart from last year, I remember last year, I kept thinking, why is he not celebrating his birthday? Because you just think, Roland-Garros, Nadal's birthday.
Good point. Well, I'm glad you admitted it, but what a way to celebrate for Rafa, obviously playing his first night session in Paris. So it's going to be a special night for him and a birthday that he will definitely not forget.
And we are going to be looking ahead to that night session in detail a little bit later. We've also got some messages from the fans for Rafa Nadal's birthday. But it's time to head out. I mentioned tennis is still taking place. Hopefully he's pinned himself down. He's not being blown away. Good evening, Eli.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. It's not that windy. It's a bit windy, cloudy, but it's still very playable conditions. And we are in court Suzanne Lenglen. And the streak is very much alive for Annette Kontaveit, who is leading 4-love in a head-to-head against Kristina Mladenovic. She is up 6-2, 4-0, 15-love after only 45 minutes of play. Boy, this one is going really fast, and it seems like the French girl does not know what to do versus the Estonian. The two have they've been playing each other a lot. They have sort of similar careers, but Annette Kontaveit just has the upper side. Although Kristina Mladenovic, Roland-Garros is somewhere that she's done well. She's reached the quarters here twice. She's won doubles 3 times. And I think she made the finals in mixed doubles, but she didn't win in 2013. She was playing with Danielle Nestor. In fact, I have a little question for you, Danny. Who were you playing that year with in mixed doubles 2013?
2013, I wouldn't have a clue, but I do know that I played against Kiki in doubles for the very first time she played at Roland-Garros. So I think I'm surprising you there with that answer that I don't think you knew. So I kind of got myself out of that question to answer because I wouldn't have a clue. I know it's not Fabrice because we won in 2006, I believe.
It was somebody with a French name, but he isn't French, but he's an amazing, amazing doubles player. Jean-Julien Roger.
Ah, okay, well.
Yeah, but it wasn't the best year. You lost first round.
Julien.
But anyways, we're on court Suzanne Lenglen. It's now 40-love, Annette Kontaveit about to serve to go up 5-love. And then, it looks like this one's going to end pretty soon.
Eli, thank you. Eli's going to make a move and be someone else, somewhere else a little bit. He might be someone else too. We're going to stay in the wind in our live at Roland-Garros studio and get into the match of the day. And we were a little bit tied earlier today as to who would feature in the match of the day, but then it became clear that it would be Roger Federer on Philippe Chatrier. It's still so nice to see him back here, to see him walking out to the court. And I know, Danny, he said, I've got no expectations, but this guy is a winner. He wants to come out, he wants to win every match he plays, and we had 2 former Grand Slam champions on court.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Gigi, first of all, it was so nice to see both of these guys out there. It was an all-time classic, and when the schedule came out, to me, this was going to be the match of the day, and I think it fulfilled all the expectations. And yeah, Roger saying that he's not expecting him to win the tournament. You know, being a champion as he is, definitely somewhere deep down under, he thinks he has a chance. And I think, to me, the way he played, especially in that first round, really surprised me big time. And today, once again, he came out there timing the ball the way that I didn't think he was going to be able to do after such a long time away from the game. He moves incredibly well. He looks so fit and sharp. And I have to say, in a way, playing Istomin and Marin Cilic back-to-back, you know, those are big hitters. They hit the ball really clean, which is what Roger wants. You know, he doesn't have to play against a Spaniard or a lefty. So I think the draw has been kind of kind to him. And I think in the next match, he's going to kind of have the same hitting going against him. So as far as the draw is concerned, I think he must have been really pleased when it came out. And he was just very impressive, but then things got interested in that second set.
Yes, they did get interesting, not just because the scoreline you can see on your screen there with Marin Cilic having shaken off what happened in the third set, but there was also a time violation warning for Roger Federer. So unusual to see that the returner getting the warning.
I mean, the irony of that was that we know how much time Marin Cilic takes in between the points with bouncing the ball and how fast Roger plays. The thing here that happened was that he was not ready for the server, and that's kind of the rule you have to go by. Also, Roger is not really used to, you know, having to pick up the towel himself, but to me, more than anything, it was the frustration. He was just the break point up in the previous point, so I think also he was kind of buying a little bit time for himself and getting the nerves, you know, going out in that way. But, you know, afterwards, it was all back to tennis.
Yeah, it's just the 5th time, you touched on not many, that he's had to get his own towel. I know that's not a big thing and we can all go and get our own towels, but it's something he's been used to for so long. So there was a discussion. I mean, I think maybe they thought he should have given him a little bit more of a chance because he hasn't played that much tennis. But as you say, they carried on, and Marin Cilic wasn't going to be distracted by what had taken place. He just had to play his own game and believe. Because remember, coming into this, he'd only ever beaten Roger Federer on the one occasion before, with 9 going the way of Federer.
Yeah, I thought the second set he'd handled really well, especially when Roger asked him directly, like, do you think I'm taking too long? And, you know, Marin being one of the nicest guys, like, what do you answer to that? You know, knowing that, okay, you were not ready, Roger, when I was about to serve. So it kind of got awkward, but it was nice that afterwards, after the match, the guys were cool again. But, yeah, it's never going to be easy for Marin going to play Roger, having that record against him. It's something you have to really block out, nothing about those stats once you step on the court. And yeah, I mean, I thought he did really well, Marin. He gave himself a chance, but once again, Roger keeps surprising me how well he's playing so far in Roland-Garros.
You felt that this third set would be very, very important as to the outcome of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was so crucial for both guys because physically, you know, they're not getting any younger, and the recovery for Roger's next match, it's huge now, you know, with every single round that he moves forward. So he really needed this one to finish in 4 sets, and he was able to do that. But once again, there was so much variety from both guys, and to me, this definitely was the match of the day.
And a lot of people talking, as you said at the start, about the movement of Federer and how well he's playing in just his 3rd tournament this year.
No, it's incredible. You know, when you don't have that match play and to move as fluently as he does, once again, he proves us, you know, he's Roger, he's special, and he's able to bounce back, come back after, you know, not playing for many, many months and produce that kind of tennis. He was definitely very, very pleased with that performance.
Yeah, there was relief at the end. He was pleased. You talked about father time, which catches up with us all. Doesn't want to be out there for 5 sets. Doesn't want to be out there any longer than necessary. Marin Cilic, a very tough opponent, so happy to get it done in 4.
Definitely, he needed to save extra energy now going into the 3rd round, and that's why the 3rd set was such a huge turning point in that match.
I'm just hearing that Kristina Mladenovic has lost 6-2, 6-love to Anett Kontaveit.
Yeah, I mean, with Kiki, what can I say? You know, she we practiced together for so many times, played doubles. We never played together, but played against each other so many times. And I feel like she has so much potential. But unfortunately, in singles, she's not able to put it together as I would expect her. Obviously, in doubles and mixed doubles, she's one of the best players we've ever had in the game. So I just hope for her that there is still enough time where, you know, she can start to have more solid results on a more, you know, consistency kind of level.
Now, if you're ready, we've got a lot of matches to get through because it's another very busy day here at Roland-Garros. And we'll start with Novak Djokovic. Now, he was playing on Susan Longland today, who is up against Pablo Cuevas, and he meant business from the off. His court coverage, his movement, his defence, everything was at its very top level today.
You know what? I feel like we are going a little bit off-radar with Novak. You know, we're talking about Rafa's birthday and Roger's comeback and not as much attention on Novak, which I think is a good thing. You know, he's just really focused on his tennis, not too much going on off the court. So I think good times for Novak are coming up. And yes, today was incredibly... you know, one-sided performance. He was serving so well, hitting his targets. I mean, the movement, we always knew that was going to be there. So definitely he's got to be very pleased with that. Talking about saving energy, he couldn't ask for a better day in the office.
Playing his 350th Grand Slam match. Now, I'm afraid it was heartbreak, and they were the words she used following her retirement for the world #1 Ash Barty. There were question marks coming into this match because she had the heavy strapping. A lot of questions asked of her. She said she was going to try and manage it, but in the end, Daniela, she couldn't take the risk. And ultimately, she could not continue.
Yeah, huge disappointed for the tournament, obviously losing the #1 in the world. And like she said herself in the press conference after, she gave everything out there as far as the treatments and all she could do the last couple of days. But, you know, when your hip and quad are involved, those are the muscles you need on clay big time. And it was very clear, actually, right from the beginning, she was not really landing well on that left leg on her serve. And it was just a matter of time that she was going to retire because definitely she was not moving the way she can be. So let's just wish her the best. Let's hope she can recover and be ready for the grass court season.
Yep, she said, I've had my fair share of tears this week. She said, but we'll work together as a team and I will get back as soon as I can. Fifth seed Elina Svitolina, the three-time quarter-finalist here at Roland-Garros, was able to get the better of Anne Lee. Very straightforward in the beginning for 6-love. It got a little bit tougher. She was a breakdown in the second, but she was able to use her experience to come through. Yeah,
absolutely. Experience is what Elina is using these days big time, and the movement and the way she covers the court. I sometimes don't understand why she's not winning this tournament, because to me, she's got it all. I always found it so difficult and frustrating having to play against Elina because there is no weakness in her game. And yeah, especially the first set, she was super aggressive coming to the net quite a bit as well. And it was the backhand that actually got her the win in 2 sets.
Yep, she's got 5 titles on the clay, Elina Svitolina. Matteo Berrettini, 9th seed here, 4th appearance, equalled his best with a very comfortable performance against Federico Coria.
Yeah, very impressive from Matteo. And, you know, he's leading the Italian group here. And today that serve was working extremely well. Something he's improved so much since Madrid is that slice backhand. The variety was one thing that I would always say he could add to his game. But the last couple of weeks, he's been able to do that. And you know, sometimes you need one tournament where you start to use that shot a little bit more, and then suddenly, you know, you feel like you've got a new weapon in your game, and that's what happened for Matteo with the slice backhand.
I feel no one's really talking about Sofia Kenin, which is surprising because she's a Grand Slam champion and she's a former finalist here at Roland-Garros.
Yeah, especially given it was just a couple of months ago. But, you know, the results she has had the last couple of months and things she had to deal with off the court, probably that's why we didn't give too much attention to her. But we better be careful, because remember last year she lost to Azarenka 11-love in Rome, and then suddenly she comes here and makes it to the finals. So she's got that mentality, you know, that focus. She goes from point to point like she's on a mission. So definitely that can bring her a long way.
Yeah, she talked about building her team. Now she has separated from working with her father. Gael Monfils, the crowd were willing him on. They wanted it to happen for Monfils. He had to leave the court for his own medical timeout at the end of the first set. But in the end, it wouldn't be enough and it wouldn't be to be.
Yeah, I think everyone in the tournament wanted Gael to win just because, you know, he's such a favorite in front of the home crowd. And I have to say the last couple of years that there is no way that Roland-Garros can happen without him, you know, on Susan Langland. It's one of those connections that when I think of this tournament, I think of Gael. And, you know, he did everything he could actually to turn this match around. Obviously, his confidence is not where it should be, but let's hope this tournament's going to give him a little bit more courage to now carry on, practice well, and hopefully the results will start to turn for him. But it's also nice to mention a Swedish name. I mean, you know, we talk about the Italians, the French players. Now we've talked about the Swedish players for many, many years, and then suddenly there was this gap. So it's good to see Michael doing so well.
It certainly is. He's the first Swedish player through to the third round since Robin Soderling reached the quarterfinals back in 2011. That's a really big win because you're taking on the player, you're taking on the reputation, and you're taking on the French crowd. And he handled it very well.
Yeah, he did, and especially the way he came out on the court winning that first set 6-love, and then it almost looked like Gael couldn't really move, and that's so tricky for you know, when you have an opponent that you don't really know whether he's injured or not, you start to go a little bit away from your tactical plan, so he got himself in trouble.
On to Philippe Chatrier, and disappointment for Karolina Pliskova, the 9th seed here, losing to Sloane Stephens, a former runner-up in this tournament, and on her day, Sloane Stephens can beat anyone on any surface.
Exactly, Gigi. On her day, she is one of the best players in the world, and it's so good to see Sloane playing this kind of tennis that I expect her to do more often. I get frustrated when I watch her sometimes not giving 100% mentally, because I know how much she's got in the game, especially of that forehand side, the angles she's able to create. She's got one of the fastest wrist actions, and it's the shot that helped her to be in the finals here a couple of years ago. So she definitely knows how to win big on the Philippe Chatrier, so it was good for her to get this win and showed us one more time, you know, what she's really made of.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful smile from Sloane Stephens at the end when she got that win. A disappointment for Karolina Pliskova, as there has been recently that double bagel in the final at Rome, and now an early exit here at Roland-Garros. So for Pliskova, it's on to the grass. For Sloane Stephens, she marches on. And with Jannik Sinner, I have to keep reminding myself that not only is this only his second appearance here, quarter-finalist last year, but he's still a teenager. He's still just 19.
Exactly. It's crazy, Gigi, to think how young he is and how much potential he's got. You know, there is still so many things he can improve, but yet already he's one of the best players. And, you know, with Riccardo Piatti working, I think, you know, we are looking at a Grand Slam champion for sure. And today was not easy for him, losing that third set, especially when you play someone that knows your game so well, another Italian. So a tricky one for Sinner, but good to get through.
Yep, he navigated it very well. And look at that, it doesn't show much emotion during the match, but wonderful to see the celebration at the end from Jannik Sinner. Now, something, Danny, that took place today was the draw for the wheelchair competition. Now, it's starting a little bit earlier, and it will run till the 7th of June. And the wonderful thing is that all the defending champions are back to try and defend their crown. You're seeing the draw and the presentation ceremony. That happened earlier today. The wheelchair doubles, the men's, the defending champions, Alfie Hewitt, Gordon Reid, the British pair are back, Aniek van Koot and Didi van Groot in the women's, Dylan Alcott in the quad singles, the defending champion, then Yui Kamiji, the defending champion in the women's wheelchair singles competition. It's so great because everyone, including the wheelchair players, had a tough time during COVID. There was less travelling, there was less tournaments, and therefore less opportunities. So wonderful to see everyone back.
Oh, absolutely. It's so cool from the tournament to do this. You know, given all the restrictions we have had the last couple of months, we need to have them back. And, you know, if there is one competition we shouldn't skip, it's definitely the wheelchair tennis, because, I mean, these guys, they deserve so much admiration. What they are able to do out there, you know, we can't even imagine what it's like. So it's really cool that the tournament managed to get it done, and can't wait to watch the matches.
Yeah, the competition starts tomorrow. It runs until the 7th. Now, I'm pretty sure it's raining. I'm pretty sure I feel raindrops. Maybe, Eli, you can confirm it for me. I'm not sure where you are now, but it's definitely raining on me where I am.
Yeah, I'm commentating in the rain, Gigi. I'm commentating in the rain. It's starting to come down. And unfortunately, I think this is just the beginning. I mean, I'm no weather guy, okay? But when I hear big noises coming from the sky and drops following up and wind, it doesn't look good. In the meantime, we are on court Simon Mathieu with yet another Swede, Rebecca Peterson. She's facing off 2020 title holder Iga Świątek of Poland, who is up 3-love in this second round match. Remember, Iga Świątek came off a double bagel win in Rome. She then won 6-love, 6-7-5 in the first round here. She's up 3-love and could potentially put another bagel on the board. Iga Świątek not here as an outsider anymore, not here for the jokes. She is here and she's doing the business. It's some serious. Oh, and she's, as we speak, she's putting on a sweatshirt. The rain is getting a bit stronger. I wonder how long this is going to last. The good news is we have the roof on Court Philippe Chatrier, so the night match between Rafa Nadal and Richard Gasquet will happen no matter what. But if this continues, surely there could be an interruption to come. I don't know. You guys maybe have more information on the weather than I do. I'm just looking at the sky, and guys, it ain't looking good.
Well, Eli, Gigi, I don't know where you guys are sitting, but I'm perfectly fine. So I must have done something right that I don't feel any raindrops on me. So I have like a privileged seat here because I don't feel any raindrops.
Well, my back's wet. I don't know about you, Eli, but my back is now soaking wet. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not as dry as Daniela, I can tell you that. I'm more on Team Gigi.
Yeah, okay, so we're the wet ones. Daniela is dry, but as Eli touched on...
That's because you're not wearing white, guys. You know, it's the blue team against the white one. You got to be thinking more out there, guys.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
all in white, and we're not going to get wet. Okay, that's the message from tonight's show. But the good thing is, as Eli touched on, we have a roof as we look ahead to tonight's night session. Whatever the weather, the show will go on because there's a roof on Philippe Chatrier, and the birthday boy, Rafa Nadal, will be part of it against Richard Gasquet. It feels fitting, Danny, that on his birthday, under the lights, will be Nadal.
Absolutely. I mean, a great way to put a schedule down for tonight's night session. Celebrating Rafa's birthday. It's going to be his first night session ever here, so definitely special moments for him. And let's hope he can be happy with his performance, so that he can then celebrate big time.
And we talk about some players that aren't used to playing at night, and what do they do and how do they get ready? It won't bother Nadal because he's played so many times. Not here, admittedly, because this is the first of the official night sessions this week, but he will know exactly, even though it's his birthday, how he's dealing with today ahead of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the great champions are made for night sessions. That's where, you know, they are able to come up with their best tennis, so they definitely know how to time their days to rest, recover, and really focus when it matters. That's at 9 o'clock for Rafa tonight, and I think one of the keys to play well at night session is really being able to relax in between, you know, get yourself fired up for the practice session whenever you do that during the day, but then kind of stay cool and take it easy until you hit the court once again for the match.
Yeah, it's very good that he put his accreditation on there. Have to have that on at all times, and until you're on the tennis court going through. And in terms of when players are warming up, will you ever be working on anything, or is it literally just to warm up the body?
No, absolutely. You are already thinking, especially when it's the session right before the match, because what happens is during the night match schedule, you can have like an early morning hit where you kind of just really warming up and going through your shots just to get the body moving. But when it's right before the match, as it is right now, you're already thinking tactically what you're going to go out there. And that's why, for sure, he will be trying to hit those shots that he needs to execute well during the match. And Rafa is one of those perfectionists that until he feels every single shot it's right, he's able to spend even up to an hour for warming up for his matches, which is really unusual to see because the guys are normally much more chilled. They would practice 25, 30 minutes, where with the girls, you know, I would be spending up to an hour before a match to warm up. So it's a little bit sometimes very interesting to see how much time he spends before his matches, Rafa.
Well, it's safe to say that Rafa Nadal is fully warmed up, and we're actually dedicating a large part of tonight's show to him because it is his 35th birthday, including when it comes to the Eye of Daniela. So what made you think of Nadal for today's Eye of Daniela?
Well, like you said, because we are dedicating this time to Rafa's birthday, I can't not mention his mental strength. To me, Rafa is the greatest competitor mentally that we have in all the sports. I've never seen such an intensity and really playing it, not match by match, as he always repeats himself in the press conferences. It's just about the next match. He doesn't think more ahead of that. To me, it's how he's able to play set by set, game by game, point by point, and shot by shot. We always talk about in the sports psychology being in the here and now moment. There is not a better example. I've never ever seen him checking out for 1 second mentally. He says that sometimes maybe his tennis is not there, but mentally ever since he got on the tour, and I hear that even before, even when he was 9, 10 years old, as Uncle Tony said, that, you know, that focus they have had ever since he started to hit tennis balls. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think we will ever experience someone with a better mental attitude than Rafa. So definitely that's why, you know, he's now going for that 14th title because of that mental strength he's got.
It is incredible how he brushes disappointment aside so quickly. It's led him to 13 titles here. He is going for number 14, and he's playing on the night session against Richard Gasquet. So he featured in Eye of Daniela. He also features in our question of the day. So here we go. What would you wish Rafa for his birthday? Now, we're going to hear from some fans shortly, but Danny, what would you wish for Rafa for his 35th birthday?
To get better and better with his golf game, because I know how much it means to him, how much he's playing, and that he keeps beating Tony, even though Tony thinks he's going to beat me. So definitely something into the golf direction, and just, you know, getting the handicap down to where he wants it to be, even though it's already super good.
OK, so I thought you were going to say title number 14. You went golf.
Well,
went golf.
It's almost given that he might be getting it. So, and I'm sure the fans would wish him that. So I thought I change it up to the golf side.
So maybe just needs a little bit more help with the golf. But we did go out and about a little bit earlier to speak to some of the fans to see what they would wish for Rafa for his birthday.
Would you mind wishing him a happy birthday?
Of course, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nadal.
Happy birthday, Rafa.
Que lo cumpla feliz, que lo cumpla feliz, que lo cumpla Rafael, que lo cumpla feliz.
Vamos, Rafa.
Cumple Rafa. Genio.
Jag må han leva, jag må han leva, jag må han leva ut i 100 år. Ja, visst ska han leva, ja, visst ska han leva, ja, visst ska han leva ut i 100 år.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Rafa.
That was a little bit unnerving at the end, suddenly the big face of Roger Federer appearing. And his Swedish happy birthday, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, now I feel bad that I haven't used any of my Slovak to wish him that as well.
Would you like
want
to
me to sing? I don't think we need that.
No, I thought you were offering. OK, maybe by the end of the show, maybe by the end of the tournament, we'll get Danny to sing to Rafa Nadal. Now, what we did do at the start of the tournament, a little bit earlier in the week, we heard fans putting their questions to the players. This time it was members of the Roland-Garros family that got the opportunity to ask their questions to the King of Clay.
Hello, this is Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Nadal, por todos estos años de puro tenis que has estado dando durante todos estos años. Y bueno, eres mi ídolo y lo vas a ser toda mi vida. ¿Qué piensas de los recogepelotas de Roland-Garros?
Bueno, la verdad que los recogepelotas en Roland-Garros son fantásticos, ¿no? Muy profesionales, muy elegantes y muy bien preparados, y os quiero felicitar a todos por el gran trabajo que hacéis cada año, que es fantástico, la verdad.
Je t'ai vu gagner en 2005 avec ton Bermuda blanc et ta chemise verte qui était superbe. Pourquoi pas rejouer avec prochainement dans un tournoi ou l'année prochaine?
Well, I don't think so. I am too old for that. When I see myself on TV, I mean, for me it looks very strange, but it's true that during that time was comfortable, but today I don't see a possibility that I'm gonna play with that outfit.
Est-ce que tu as une anecdote drôle par rapport aux personnes de l'entretien des cours à Roland-Garros? Et j'en profite tant que je suis là, est-ce que tu accepterais de taper la balle sur le cours Philippe Chatrier avec moi ou sur n'importe quel autre cours?
Well, I don't know. I always had a great relationship with all the court makers. So I had plenty of photos every single year, and honestly, there is not big anecdotics because the court have been always in fantastic shape. And yes, I am more than happy to play a ball with you anytime.
Now, to complete our preview ahead of tonight's night session, which is Rafa Nadal against Richard Gasquet, we can head back and join Eli, who's with a man. Eli, I don't know if you know this, but the man you're alongside has been wanting to be a part of Live at Roland-Garros for a few years now.
Yeah, and we finally got him on the show. He's been wanting to come on the show, but we didn't have the time for him. In fact, no, I'm kidding.
Gigi's in the
Yeah, of course, she's playing with you. So, first of all, Mark, thanks so much for being with us. You were commentating Federer. I'm sure that was fun. And you're commentating again in a few minutes. You get a time to have a drink of water.
Exactly.
You're going to be commentating Rafa Nadal and Richard Gasquet, which is a tennis classic, not a tennis thriller in the past years, but a tennis classic.
Well, it's been a bonanza the whole time, given that we've got three of the greatest that are playing on the same day. That's highly unusual at a Grand Slam. So I'm in heaven covering these matches, but the match tonight, yeah, it seems like it's one-way traffic. Nadal starts the hot favourite. Well, what else is new when he plays here at Roland-Garros?
I mean, conditions are going to be different, though, right? Because, first of all, it's going to be a night match, given he played here at night last year against Jannik Sinner. But that was not an official night session match. But the roof could be closed. Who knows? In case temperature is going to be different. Could that maybe help out Richard a little bit? Or is there nothing he can hope for?
Well, I love the whole concept that we're trying to find something that will help Richard Gasquet's chances for tonight. I'm not sure if the closing of the roof is going to be it. Unfortunately, Richard, steps out onto this great stage and he doesn't have the support of the home crowd. They're playing an empty stadium, and I think if some crowd had been here, if they'd even played during the day, then he could have maybe utilised that hometown support. This is one of the greatest quandaries in all sport. How to defeat Rafa Nadal at Roland-Garros. For me, he's just got to come out fast. He's got to throw everything out the window that he's tried before, because the record is fairly bleak, the historical aspect. I mean, something like 26 consecutive sets have gone against him. So, look, I'm a big believer. You forget about that. You just don't walk onto the court tonight looking at those records, but a chance to try something different. The start is always important, winning the first set, but I think Richard Gasquet's got to go extremely hard and try to build a 2-sets-to-love lead, which I don't think that anyone has ever achieved against the great Rafa Nadal.
Well, one more thing. I have a little stat that's interesting.
Yep.
Richard Gasquet does lead in the number of main draw appearances here, 18-17. So maybe you have to hang on to something, right?
See, that's what I always, try to embark on this journey with the player. When their record is not so strong against their opponent, you've got to look for some positiveness there. You found it.
Richard, you're good. You're 18-17. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. Enjoy your match. Gigi, Daniela, back to you guys.
Thank you very much to Woody and Eli. Yes, 16-0 in favour of Rafa Nadal. So that's tonight's night session. As the sun comes back out, my back is now warm and not wet. We can look ahead to the schedule, the order of play for Philippe Chatrier and Susan Lenglen tomorrow. We can see things start, and it's a midday start. The outside courts, it's 11 o'clock, including Susan Lenglen. But Azarenka against Keys, Zverev against Gera, Serena Williams against Danielle Collins, and your night match is Stefanos Tsitsipas against John Isner, not before 9 o'clock. And having a quick look at Susan Lenglen, some great matches there, including Fabio Fognini. People are talking about him going deep, being a dark horse. He's got a good draw against Federico Del Bonis. Daniil Medvedev, will he love the clay even more when he takes on Riley Opelka? Danny, a final chance if you would like to sing happy birthday.
We're still on it.
I'm just going to give you one more chance.
Oh, I'm so glad that you kind of moved into tomorrow's schedule and that everything that I offer tonight is already forgotten. So you passed your chance.
I've missed my chance.
Yeah, kind of.
I genuinely can't
I can tell you what I'm looking forward to tomorrow. But
what are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Actually, it's going to be a night session again. Isner against Tsitsipas. I mean, that's going to be such another classic. Really looking forward to that. Isner, a player that we don't talk enough on clay.
Yeah.
Because of that big serve, I think it's a surface that he's got so much time to hit his big ground stroke. He moves so well for a tall guy. So I think it's going to be a good challenge for Stefanos. And I'm so glad how I got myself out of the singing part.
I'll get there somehow. Dan, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for tuning in to Live at RG. Don't forget, we're with you every night from 7 o'clock. Whatever the weather, we will be here. We'll round up the action. We'll bring you match points as they happen. We bring you reaction, and then we preview the night session. Keep an eye on the social media channels. You can follow us there. We'll also be posting on there our question of the day. But until next time, enjoy the tennis that's left today, and we'll see you tomorrow.